from the coast, but not just any coast. Good morning from the East Coast. That's right. Welcome to Massachusetts. And specifically, we're waking up in a part of Massachusetts I have never been to, because just across the harbor here, it's the famous town of Salem. And that is where we're headed right now. This is so awesome. Salem, Massachusetts started being settled in 1626, which for somebody from Southern California is ridiculously old. And not only was the town founded in the 1600s, but there are apparently several buildings here still dating from that time period, which is extremely exciting. I mean, the whole town is beautiful and very historic. But look at things like this. The famous house of the 7 Gables that supposedly dates all the way back to 1668. I mean, like I say, coming from somewhere where the old houses were built maybe in the 20s, and most old houses in my town were built in the 1950s. That is absolutely incredible. Even this much younger house right here, built in 1843, seems ancient to me. Wow, look at this house here, built by a mariner in 1771. This was here during the American Revolution. But of course, Salem, Massachusetts is not most famous for its age, or its architecture, or its historic buildings, no matter how cool they may be. Salem, of course, is most famous because in 1692, it was the place where they held America's most famous witch trials. That's right, this is the Salem of the Salem witch trials. 200 people in this town and the neighboring towns were accused of witchcraft, and 20 of them were convicted and executed by hanging or pressing, being crushed to death. And this is their memorial in the town of Salem today. 20 little stone benches with their names and the type of execution they faced. Clearly, witchcraft was not popular back in the 1690s in Salem, but it has been very popular here ever since. Particularly, as you can imagine, in October like now, when thousands of people from all across the country and maybe other parts of the world descend on Salem to experience the spooky atmosphere and get in touch with a classic piece of America's spooky past. Look at this place. We are right in the heart, sort of the downtown area inside of Salem's old burying ground. This cemetery is incredible. It's amazing just how old it is. I mean, it almost looks like a movie set, like props. Some of the headstones are so incredibly thin and old-fashioned. They are truly beautiful works of art. It is so strange and surreal to be here in Salem. As you can see, there are many other people out here today as well. And the tourists don't just come in October. Oh no, Salem is famous all the year round. With so many tourists, there aren't just popular historic sites to see. There are an awful lot of other attractions in Salem as well. So many it would probably take a couple of weeks to see them all. And unfortunately, Allie and I only have one day here in Salem. But rather than skipping over this town or waiting till we have more time, we figure, what the heck? It's Halloween! We might as well bring you guys along as we dip our toe in the water and explore for the very first time Salem, Massachusetts. Dude, look at this town. There's so many little wax museums and attractions and restaurants and shops and walking tours and trolley tours. But it is genuinely difficult to figure out where to start and add to that this whole kind of festive Halloween carnival atmosphere, with so many people out here shopping, checking out the Halloween attractions, or getting their psychic readings from a real Salem witch. It is making all of this very overstimulating. Yeah, dude, look at all this stuff. This is wild. You got the witch mall. You can go get your witch picks over here. Ooh, a sale on capes and hats. What in the world? Salem has so much to do. And the human tide is coming in. All right, before we try to figure out which wax museums are camera friendly or anything like that, there are some more attractions on our Salem bucket list, which I've always wanted to see and which will hopefully get us away from the worst of the crowds. At least for a couple of minutes. Dude, that escalated quickly. We started walking around at 8 in the morning. There's nobody out here, and all of a sudden, bam! Well, it looks like getting away from the crowds will be impossible, but one thing that should be on everybody's Salem to-do list is this house here, known all over the world as the Witch House. Traditionally dated all the way back to 1642, this was the Jonathan Corwin house, as in Judge Jonathan Corwin, one of the people that served in the court that executed 19 people. It is the last building remaining in modern Salem with direct ties to the actual 1692 witch trials. And you can, of course, purchase admission and see the inside of this historic home, as long, of course, as you're willing to wait in line for a little while. Now, as famous as Salem is for all the witch trial stuff or the historic sites, to people of my generation and younger, and particularly to Disney fans, I feel like when people hear Salem and witches, one thing in particular comes to mind, and that is the 1993 Disney movie, Hocus Pocus. Now, of course, Disney has only just recently released the sequel, Hocus Pocus 2, but for whatever reason, that was mostly filmed down in Rhode Island. The 1993 original movie was filmed largely right here in Salem. Now, behind me is the Salem Pioneer Village, and it is actually one of the oldest, if not the oldest, sort of reconstructed historical village park in the United States, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, today, it happens to be closed, but when it's open, it's a recreation of life in Salem in 1630. And this is the old Salem where they filmed the beginning of Hocus Pocus. All the scenes where young Thackeray Binks is running around. Pretty much every old-timey thing in the movie, but the Sanderson sisters' cottage itself was filmed right here in this place. It's amazing. Looks awesome even from the outside. And it is really too bad it's only open on the weekends. Oh yeah, by the way, as I film this, it's Thursday. Think of that when you think of the crowds downtown right now. Luckily, it wasn't just the old historic parts of Salem that were filmed out here in the real Salem from Hocus Pocus. And it turns out the parking over here by the Pioneer Village gets you really close to perhaps the most iconic filming location from that movie. This is Max and Danny's house from Hocus Pocus. Dude, that is awesome. Dude, that is so cool. That is the home of sort of the two main characters in the film. And of course, Max brings his girlfriend Allison over. I know what that's like, bringing over an Allison, you know, to your parents' house. That's cool. Thackeray Binks as a cat was in there, and perhaps most iconically, when they open up the book in there, the beacon of light shoots out of Max's tower bedroom up there on top and blasts up into the night sky, where, of course, the Sanderson sisters can see it. Dude, this is really weird and surreal. I was about 10 years old when that movie came out. And so, of course, I watched it on Disney Channel the first year that they showed it on there. And this is probably the one location that would have stuck in my mind, even if it hadn't gotten popular and sort of watched again and again later on in later years. It is pretty weird and surreal to see it in real life. Now, of course, I love a good filming location from any movie, but Hocus Pocus in particular seems to be so popular again in recent years. For a long time, it was sort of like a cool thing because it was a deep cut. Now it's extra popular with the release of the sequel, Spirit Halloween. Pretty much every store in America is full of Sanderson sisters stuff right now, which means the sweet people in this very private residence are swarmed every year by looky-loos and photo takers and slack-jawed yokels like myself, which is why you cannot park in this neighborhood. And you got to be very careful to be very respectful of the homeowners here, because we wouldn't want the Hocus Pocus house to pull a Goonies and put, you know, tarps all over the building or something like that. That is, by the way, how most people refer to this house, the Hocus Pocus house. In fact, when you're in town, you can even plug that into Apple Maps or Google Maps and the address pops right up. But for all that it's famous from the movie, the house actually does have a very interesting history of its own. It was built in 1870 and is known as the Edward P. Balcom Cottage. And it's pretty famous in its own right, architecturally speaking, for having so many unusual architectural features smashed into such a tiny cottage right here along the water. Dude, look at that. At high tide, the ocean is pretty much right in their backyard. You can definitely see why the director and producers chose that house. Not only is it very distinctive and you have the beacon shooting out of the tower bedroom, but being right on the waterfront like this, that is something special. Which means I'm looking at two somethings special right now. Aw. It's unbelievable, 29 years later, to see a filming location that looks like it popped right out of the film. That is awesome.
I know, it's so cute.
But wait, Allison, there's even more. Because back across town, actually, just a couple of doors down from the witch house, is the Ropes Mansion, built in the 1700s, but better known to Hocus Pocus fans as Allison's house. Look at that. It's your house, Allison. What do you think?
It's so beautiful.
I know, you just want to live in this town, don't you? All day long at every historic and not so historic New England looking house in this town. It's so cute, we should buy this house. As if I owned any other houses. This is of course where Max attends Allison's Halloween party, and that's how she sort of gets roped into the Hocus Pocus story. And as you can see over here, Allison has a lot of fans. A lot. We've been walking around for half the day here in Salem so far, and it has become no less trippy to me that we're walking around looking at houses built in the 1700s, sometimes the 1600s. It's so strange. I never thought I'd be standing at the Hocus Pocus Filming Locations in Salem. I definitely would have come here earlier though if I thought Allison would open the door, let me tell you. Just surprising to find that a movie set in Salem filmed so much in Salem. There are several more filming locations in this town from that movie, some of which we'll see, some of which we won't today. But before we do anything else, on the way back, my Allison wants to head in to Jerry's department store. And you can see why. Look at all these vintage blow molds in the windows. There's good old Jerry right there, offering some good old-fashioned antiques and supposedly vintage furniture. Dude, look at these. Whoa, look at this. This is what you'd expect to find in Salem. A human pelvis. And those are actual human skull faces. Well, I guess so is this. I'm just used to seeing them with more skin on. Gosh, look at this guy. Dude, they've got a lot of stores in Salem, a lot of witch stores and stuff, but I gotta tell you, this one is my favorite so far. They've got a lot of weird, wild, and interesting in here. Shrieking ghost. Weird. Finally, knowledge. Oh, good. This can protect us while we're in town. Stay back, witches. All right, we better get out of here. I don't want to spend any money. All right, for our next Hocus Pocus spot, we're heading back downtown towards the madness. But it would be a major hitch if I didn't show you this witch. Check out this statue of Samantha from Bewitched. They actually filmed a couple of Bewitched episodes in Salem. Too bad we can't witch away some of the crowds here. But then again, whenever you want to complain about a place being crowded, you got to remember, you are part of the crowd. It's like when you're sitting in traffic and you want to complain about traffic and you realize, I am traffic. Wow, look at this. Look at all the witch hats for sale over here. Ooh, apparently ghosts wear the same kind of hat, huh? Ghost hat. Don't worry, if you don't see something out here in the stall that you're interested in, they have plenty of stores here that have got you covered. I love seeing the people in costumes out here. This very spooky lady has been working out here all day. Uh-oh, look at that. She's got a little demon baby. Oh, look at those. And you feed them Doritos, that's why they look like that.
Well, yeah.
And then right across the way, this witch over here has been working it all day as well. We're back for some more. Look at your jewelry, your necklace. We can't resist. You're the best witch in town. I love that. Now, you notice a lot of the stores in here have signs saying no pictures, no video. That includes TikTok, no TikToking, Allie. And that's what makes it so difficult to film some of the things I really want to film, like Count Orlok's here. But luckily, our next Hocus Pocus filming location is right out in the open. Look at that. It's the town hall where Max and Danny and Allison go to find the parents, get a little help. And the Sanderson sisters do their rendition of I Put a Spell on You and bewitch all the parents, which is exactly what this lady over here is talking about. They have Hocus Pocus tours in town, and not just one. There's one behind me, there's one coming right here past us, and there's another one behind them. You might think it's all a bunch of Hocus Pocus, but it's big business in Salem during the holidays. Now online, you'll read a lot about how this is where the big dance scene and the big musical number was filmed. I'm not sure it was actually filmed in the town hall. A lot of people here are saying it wasn't, but I am sure that the kids were filmed going in to these very doors into the town hall. And this is, of course, where all the parents come out and do their little dance in Kamakoriyama. It's weird, there were so many tour groups here just 1 second ago, and now look. They're all gone. What do you think of all this Hocus Pocus? Did you grow up with that movie?
Yeah.
Like, did you watch it a lot as a kid? Did you like it? Were you really into it? Or is it sort of like, eh?
I liked it. I think I was more into it when I got a little older.
Yeah, see, and it was more fun because it was like a deep cut. It was so 90s and kind of corny and cheesy. I feel like now it's almost jumping the shark a little bit because it's getting so popular. Maybe that's just the sequel frenzy, you know? But it is cool to be here in person, let me tell you. See the locations IRL. Mostly it's really impressive that Disney spent the money to actually film in Salem, which makes you wonder when they're filming Hocus Pocus 2, knowing that it's really popular now and gonna make money, why didn't they film in Salem again? Well, maybe they were worried that there's too many witch fans in this city, you know? Perhaps the vamp witch can use her psychic powers to tell me. All right, we're cruising out back onto the main drag here because now we're gonna try and head down to the other side of the road, kind of a little ways across town because I heard there's a Halloween museum here. And what better way to get into the spirit of the season? There are a lot of tempting offers along the street though. Free balloon animals, 4 tips, lots of characters and costumes, even a couple of pop-up shops. And of course, lots of crystals and palm readings and psychics. Of course, that's not really my thing. I'm afraid of actual witchcraft. Ooh, this lady looks very scary. And so does whoever that is. Trying to stay the course, stay the course. Pirates, Johnny Depp? Oh my gosh, even better. Jack Sparrows are dime a dozens. Captain Hook? That is the coolest thing I've seen all month. Did you see Captain Hook? He pointed at me. Holy cow, I didn't realize you could actually come inside of the Witch City Mall. I thought it was just referring to the outside shops. This is amazing, look at that. Monster snacks. There's even a monster museum. That is awesome. I've never seen a monster museum in a mall before. Weird. Ooh, haunted adventure. This way. I might take a peek. I don't know if I can take you with me. We'll find out. Oh, awesome. You know what they just told me? They said feel free to take all the pictures and video inside that you want. It is super dark in here, you guys. Good thing they give you a lantern. This is rad. I am loving this. Look at these vampires. A whole selection of vampires. Whoa! Look at the size of that bat. Oh my gosh, you actually kind of need this walking through here. Whoa! What happened? Ooh, looks like they disturbed a werewolf. We've already got so many different kinds of monsters and creatures in here to see. Ooh, and some of them are wiggling and moving around. Look at these are the witches in here. I love that there's all this context and stuff like that. All right, let's head in this way into the spooky area, the spooky zone. What the heck is that? Ow! Ow! That's what they were screaming about. Dude, that is sick. Werewolves! How awesome was that? Okay, give me the lantern now. Oh. Look at this. We got a specter and a banshee. All these different types of ghosts. Here's a wraith with no head. And what do we have over here? A revenant. Ooh, those are ghosts that have risen from the dead, I think. Animated, old-timey corpses. What's this? A Wendigo. An evil forest spirit. Dude, it is actually creepy in here. Oh, we've got some leprechauns. Perfect for the greater Boston area. What the heck is that thing moving around over there? Wow! It's Mothman! Whoa! You scared me, sir! Allie's laughing at me. What the heck? I keep getting startled by things like the Chupacabra here. Or the Crooked Man, or worse, Slender Man. Watch out, Allie. The Slender Man will get you. Dude, there's some rad artwork on the walls in here. Uh-oh. We must be heading into the domain of the mummy. As I see a sphinx head. Whoa. Hello, mummy. You don't look like my mummy. Whoa. Whoa! Gosh, dang it, that scared me. Jeez, calm down, sir. Calm down. I didn't know it was gonna be like haunted here. Ooh, what do we got? This one says ghouls. We've got several ghouls here visiting the grave of Edgar Allan Poe. And what do we... Oh, zombies. Not a fan. Not a fan of zombies. Is that Rob Zombie? What the world? Oh, and this is Old Nick, a.k.a. the Devil. And here are some of his followers. Haven't seen this many of them since I was in Allie's hometown. Creepy. It's like a high school reunion for you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. We're going out of the realm of classical fantasy and religious imagery into man-made monsters over here. The world of the future! Oh my gosh! The world of radiation! Okay, now. Oh, they go on for so long. Oh, Doc Brown. No! It's Dr. Frankenstein. Look at the size of that monster. Dude, this is rad, Allie. Look at that. Look at the man who laughs up there. This is cool. Oh no, he's supposed to be Mr. Hyde, but he's got that man who laughs kind of face. It's never the man who laughs. It's never the man who laughs. Whoa. Check it out, Allie. Look at the size of that Cyclops. Yeah. I've never heard of a Gashado Caro, but it doesn't look friendly. Maybe we should keep moving. All right, now I'm so worried things are gonna pop out at me. There's this dragon here, I knew it! I knew it, I freaking knew it! Oh, even the dragon's against me! Oh my gosh, it's like your ex-boyfriend! Oh man, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 8 times, also shame on me. Too much. Oh, I am surprised with how much I was actually startled by that little monster museum. I must tell you, that is the coolest store in a mall I have ever been to in my life. It's cool because they have a whole bunch of wax museums and haunted house type attractions like that, but scarier. Now I'm all fired up. I got the blood pump and I kind of want to go to a whole bunch more, but first I really want to get down to this Halloween museum. And now I wish, or maybe I witch, we had more than just one day in Salem. Made myself laugh with my own joke. Lame. Dude, this fella has been out here drumming away like a drumming fool all day long. He either never gets tired or he's one of triplets, you know? Whoa, watch out, trolley crossing! Ooh, notice I don't have a beard anymore. That's because that was a close shave. I almost got run down by a trolley. None of those fortune tellers warned me about that. Oh, wait a minute, I see a banner here. Halloween Museum. I think we found it. Salem's only Halloween experience. Well, I don't know about that. All of Salem sort of feels like a Halloween experience. Oh, what in the heck? 3D glasses. That is sick. What is going on in this place? Oh my gosh. I don't know what's happening here or why the 3D glasses are necessary, but this is fun. Look at all this random Halloween stuff. Look at the little Halloween village in here. Lots of historical information about witches, fitting for Salem. Ooh, here's a little information right here. We're gonna keep cruising back here. Ooh, Salem Psychic Fair. You just can't get away from the psychics in here. I guess that's because they always know where you're gonna turn up next, huh? Ooh, look at this. I can spin for my destiny. Rich! That just shows that I haven't reached my full potential yet, Allie. All right, you spin now. I think that says, D.
No, I think it's
D.
there.
Kind. Kind. I'll tell you the same thing I tell London all the time. Dying is not allowed. No dying allowed. Okay. These are like more prismy than 3D. They just make everything extra trippy here. I'll show you. Check out the world through these bad boys. Well, I guess to you, it might not look very different. Kind of have to have both eyes in these things, I suppose. And here, through the camera, you only have one eye. Yeah, dude, I don't know about Halloween Museum. I'm not seeing that much vintage Halloween stuff. This just says that these 3 witches were made by a local artist. Neat. Here's some stuff like here's a screen-used Sleepy Hollow prop, a little pumpkin, and here's storyboard sketches from Hocus Pocus. That's pretty neat. Anyway, what I was gonna say is I don't really need this to be a museum. As an art installation, this is pleasing me mightily. Hey, look, it's a Billy Butcherson tombstone. I like that. Ooh, we got a scarecrow over here. He's very spooky. I love these giant foam trees and that moon. All this trippy black light stuff. Oh, there we go. Look at that. It's getting vintage in here now. They're showing vintage Reese's commercials. I saw the McDonald's pumpkin buckets, all kinds of vintage Halloween TV commercials. And then, of course, we've got Slimer on the wall over here and all kinds of vintage Halloween masks, including, look at that giant Target store display. Remember that huge Frankenstein mask? Hey, there's a Boo Berry box from 1975. Look at this. I didn't even know Nike made Halloween edition Air Force Ones. Weird, dude. This place is trippy. This collection is very random. Like, here's a Witch's Brew coffee shop sign from an old coffee shop. But I kind of like that it's really random because you literally never know what to expect around any given corner. I mean, this is completely different from what I was expecting, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think it's fun, though?
Yeah.
It's just so random. I love this. If I ever built a museum, it would probably be a lot like this.
Yeah.
This reminds me a lot of that alien walk out in Roswell, New Mexico. You know, it's very similar. Oh my gosh, dude, check this out. Look at this room right here. Check it out, we've got the old Salem custom house right here. Look at the wharf, the blacklight wharf under our feet. And that old ship, just like we saw this morning, all in 3D crazy neon blacklight colors. And look at that. There's their version of the witch house right there. Oh, I love the Salem house for sale. Haunted. Dude, how sick is this, Al? It's amazing.
It's so cool.
I want to do this to our living room. May I please?
Sure.
I could just paint a giant blacklight house. Oh, that's like cloth. I probably shouldn't be touching it. It's like, it's like velvet. It's weird because through these 3D glasses, it does actually become 3D, like the fluorescent stuff sticks out to you. Definitely recommend walking around with those on, but watch your step. It can get a little trippy. Get it? All right, check this out. There's some more vintage goodness in here. Look at that. It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown poster. What's this? We got a giant keg of Halloween ale or something. And there they are, the McDonald's Boo Buckets. It says 86, but as I showed you guys the other day, this one could be from 86, McPumpkin. But this witch here, she's from 1990. This Boo Bucket right here, this ghost, I think he's from 91 or 92. They definitely changed throughout the years. Kind of a nice sampling of multiple years. Look at the Halloween blow molds. Look at that. We got the McNugget Buddies. And they've got some extra ones from post 91. I showed you the original 6 just from 1991 the other day. I never had that collector plate though. Look at that thing. Love seeing those vintage candy boxes down there. Those are cool. Okay, this part is getting interesting. It is getting a lot more museum-y. Look at that Casper candle set. Look at these vintage Snoopy items over here. Whitman's candies. They've got some Pez dispensers. It's still just as blacklighty and trippy as ever in here. If I ever started a band again and I was going to have a practice space, I would want it to look something like this. Oh, or if I opened up a venue. Dang. Ever since that Roswell alien spacewalk thing, the first time I went in there, maybe, I don't know, 2013 or 14, it's way back, you know, in Random Land history. I have wanted to build something like this place is, like this blacklight walkthrough experience. They've taken it up a level here, though, from the spacewalk. Let me tell you, this is one of the coolest places I have ever been in my whole life. This is awesome. Now look at this. I've got a Halloween Furby, Allie. The terrifying Furby. Although, to be fair, all Furbies are terrifying. I'm going to spit acid in your eyes and blind you. Okay, there's probably lots of little things I missed, and I didn't watch all of the video presentations, nor did I get a long, detailed look at this Halloween dollhouse, which is pretty incredible, actually. Look at all those little Halloween miniatures. But I always have the next time I return to Salem, and let me tell you, today's visit has made me realize returning is somewhat essential. Because this town has really got something for everyone. Whoa. It's taking my eyes a minute to adjust to normal, natural light again. I was kind of getting used to that. I thought all the world was going to be lit like that forever. Look at this. Night hasn't even fallen yet. There's going to be a parade tonight. There's going to be all kinds of activities and ghost walks. And if I know Salem, and I think I do, you know there's going to be a bunch more kooky characters out here later. Dude, look at this place. Wow. See, look at this. Look at this wand store. Why Not's makers of fine wands. This is incredible. See, every single store in this town that's sort of loosely witch or spooky themed is different than the next. This one's also Harry Potter themed, and it has a Ouija board museum in the back, but I'm not sure I want to be messing with the Ouija board museum. I don't want to take anything home with me from Salem, you know what I mean? I've seen The Exorcist too many times. Look at this, even the spaces between the stores are unique. Anyway, I think you get the main point. This whole town is full of kooky, crazy, zany stuff, and people were right when they said one day is not nearly enough to see it all. They were also right when they told me You guys are going to Salem in October? You're crazy. It's going to be crowded. It's going to be a madhouse, a zoo. But speaking as someone who probably belongs in a madhouse or a zoo, I kind of enjoyed our time in Salem today. But for now, we've got to get Allie back to the hotel. She's got to change out of those witchy little shoes because all 4 of our feet are sore as foot. So we are heading back down to our hotel by the waterfront over here and take a little bit of a break. I guess I should probably mention the whole reason that we're on the East Coast and we're up here in New England is for me to take Allie up to see the fall foliage, which isn't in strong force here in Salem yet. And that is the reason we're only here for one day. We are heading further north to parts of the country I have never been to at all. So this is just day 1 of a whole adventure. I hope you stick around. We're gonna try and pop back out here and see the parade tonight. We'll see what happens. Dude, this is so weird. We just happened to be here the day of their Halloween parade. This is a very strange year for me. Instead of watching the 4th of July fireworks at home, I was watching them in Gettysburg. Instead of seeing my hometown Halloween parade, I'm in Salem, Massachusetts. Dude, people are super psyched for this parade out here. There's a bunch of people out here in costumes. Everybody's trying to snag a spot along the parade route. Luckily, it goes right in front of our hotel. The one time today, we didn't have to walk very far for anything. Something that even the Salemites or the Salemians are impressed with. We had one heck of a day, my friends, and one heck of a great time. But after 4 hours of sleep last night and 10 hours of walking today, I think we've done pretty much all that we can do. We got spooky. We got kooky. We've done our duty. We're gonna watch this parade and then hotel and sleep. Wow. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye. And look behind him! Bela Lugosi, Dracula, the Bride of Frankenstein, and Frankenstein's monster. I don't know whose float that is, there's no sponsor, but that is sick. I want to float like that. Hey, you know what? Maybe everybody in this town is in the parade. And they all float down here. Or maybe not. And that is where we'll be. They need some teepee for this place. Oh. Which police? Which police? Salem police.